Well, it's past 6 o'clock in the evening here. I wrote this blurb actually this morning before I went to church, which started at 9:30, and I actually was there by 9 o'clock. Um, so anyway, another Unity of Melbourne church that I went to. Anyway, the title is For Those Who Still Don't Understand. What do I need to do to get people to grasp what I went through over the past year? Some of which still leaves me with physical challenges. That's right. I still have to walk with much thoughtful awareness. Running is out of the question for me. You don't see this in the videos, but I have to deal with it every day. Then, since I stopped exercising after losing my home, shortness of breath is occurring again, though not nearly as bad as it was for the 3 to 4 months following my surgery. I'm no longer operating at 100%. Then, as I just mentioned again, I lost my home. I don't even have quick access to many of my things, since they were packed hurriedly in unlabeled boxes and placed in storage with boxes piled on top of each other. And many of the things that were removed in these final hours in my home were the things I used most often. In some cases, I've had to go out and buy replacements, even though I know I still have them somewhere. Anyway, I really wish people who get some kind of pleasure out of the attack Ron mode would find their hearts. I'm doing the best I can. And unjust criticism does not make it any easier for me. One person has advised me to stop playing victim. Wake up. We are all victims of things over which we have no control other than our reaction to them. Indeed, it has been very frustrating for me over the past year. I've had to deal with things that I never had to deal with in my life. And they are the most challenging things, and losing my home was the biggest challenge of all. By the way, I'm reaching over here and grabbing the book again. I finished reading it a little while ago, actually. Interesting book. It's claiming the one way, Jesus, that he is the Christ. The perception is very different and very fundamentalist compared to my expanded view of loving your neighbor as yourself. And when those that love know God, know Christ. Those that don't love don't know God yet, or have forgotten who they don't even know who they are, because our nature is to love. Our nature comes from God, but it's been subverted over and over again. And people don't understand the challenges that we as humanity are facing. Not just Ron, but all of us are facing these challenges of a criminal operation that has been running the world roughshod, overrunning our rights. I just read earlier today the latest 6 or 8 pages by Anna Van Wrights, she is set up, and others are setting up common law courts, which are the legitimate courts, and they are the superior courts to the de facto courts that operate under de facto law. They're returning de jure law to courts, and the de factos don't have any jurisdiction whatsoever, especially once the de jure courts are set up. And all of their jurisdiction anyway has always been false. But these are things that people don't understand. They don't understand the nature of the human slavery that has been imposed on all of us. Not just Ron, not just me, but all of us have had to live in a world that is run by psychopaths who have forgotten who they are. They're playing a very, very dark, sinister role. And we need to understand that this role that they're playing victimizes every person, especially those of goodwill. We who want love, who want goodness to be returned to our planet, who want it to be like Anastasia pictured it. And actually, who was it that I was reading? Somebody, oh, I think it was even in this book that I held up. That initially, when God made us, we walked with God. We knew God, just like Anastasia told us. We knew God and we walked with God, and then things got perverted and pushed under the table, and we forgot who we are. And it's gotten worse and worse and worse till it's reached its epic in the 20th and early 21st centuries. And we need to wake up. Don't you understand, folks? Don't you understand? It's not just for me. I'm not just asking for help for me. I'm asking all of us to wake up, to remember that we were created as children of God to be free. But because we went down this slippery slope of ego, of a misplaced ego, we don't have to be egoless, but we need to have our ego in balance with our spirit. We need to recognize ourselves as children of a living God and a loving God. We need to recognize that, or we will never change the world. But the world is changing, and I'm happy about that. I'm excited that people are waking up, but I ask for mercy in how you're treating me. I mean, some people seem to take delight, absolute delight, in attacking me. And I mean, they've made all sorts of threats against me from what I'm told. Now, I don't go on to the websites, but other people have, and I've been informed of some of the things that are being done. And I know that at least the one individual that's responsible for a lot of it keeps creating these false identities, false identity after false identity after false identity. They have nothing on YouTube except their newly created false identity, which always has a message in it. I should have given you the name of one of the more recent ones that I actually commented on, but then I went on and saw that it was another fake name. And I should have seen it right off the bat, but I didn't see it till I clicked on it and went over to their Facebook link. Anyway, I ask for prayers. I really want to turn my life around. I really want to get out of the doldrums. I really want to stop playing victim and start seeing my life from the perspective that there's good coming out of it. I mean, all I've seen over the past year is challenges that have threatened my very existence as a living human being, threatened my very existence as someone with my own roof over my own head. That I don't have to live based on somebody else's needs and desires and lifestyle. I can have my own lifestyle and live my life in my own way. I hope to be able to travel. I love the idea of being able to travel, but there's certain things that I have to work out in the current system, and hopefully the current system is in fact being undermined and will be eliminated. Now, someone posted a thing on a website that it's going to get far worse. Well, I hope it gets far better. I hope the worse is only for those that want to maintain the status quo. I hope it gets really, really rough for them to be able to do that. That's the worst that that I hope happens. For us, I hope the good is yet coming and coming quickly. That's my desire. That's what I live for. That's why I create these videos. That's what I've lived for my entire life. So if you don't understand, at least lay off, please. Thank you very much. And thank you for listening. And thank you for your prayers. Namaste.